All right, folks, you're watching the Cowboys Report. Keep using that hashtag in the comments section. Hashtag Cowboys if you want to be on the show. We got a bunch of questions to get to, so keep them coming here. And again, if we don't get to them, tweet them to me at WhatGoingDown. But use that hashtag Cowboys to get them here on the show for our live Q&A. All right, next up from Will Lean. Which way, though? Will the offense really change? In terms of scheme and the actual play calls, not really. In terms of the way the plays are used, and in terms of how they look pre-snap, yes. It's not a brand new playbook that's being brought in here. It's different types of plays, a few new packages, and different pre-snap looks, which, by the way, I think is what the Cowboys needed. Marco, I don't know why we love the Jaylon Smith versus LVE questions. Who will have the biggest impact? Take your pick. Like, they're both great linebackers. There is no wrong answer there. They're both fantastic. Puppet Master 21. Oh, we'll get to that one here. Next up here from Stelios, in terms of his favorite Cowboys, he says Dwayne Thomas was his former favorite Cowboys, and Amari Cooper was his favorite. Not often we see a Dwayne Thomas favorite Cowboy, by the way. That is a deep mention there, Stelios. All right, Wraith K. Will the Cowboys be in cap hell if they make Zeke and Amari the highest paid, Dak $30 million, and Jaylon $14 million? It's not cap hell. Cap hell applies when you've got a bunch of players who are bad you're paying a lot of money to. And for Amari, that's like $1 million difference if they said it was at 17 or 18 or whatever. So you're not going to be in cap hell. You're just going to be limited, which is how most good teams are. When you have a bunch of good players, you end up losing some. That's how the NFL works. It's a parity-driven league. That's why there is a salary cap. From Henry, any concern for the Cowboys over LVE's pelvic injury? I don't think so. I think it is a precautionary move for the Cowboys. It's nothing to be overly concerned about. They're being cautious. If it's still the case in, July, we'll revisit. But for now, I'm not that concerned. From Sergio, a longtime watcher, which free agents do you think will not be on the Cowboys roster next season? I assume you mean pending free agents. I think Leo Collins. I think Anthony Brown. I think Malik Collins. Those are three of the bigger names. Maybe Quinn. Maybe Cobb. Those players, those mid-tier guys who are no doubt good, but do you want to pay high-ish money to a mid-tier guy? Probably not. JC Cruz over under 11.5 sacks for DeMarcus Lawrence. Again, I'm very happy with you guys today. You've picked some really good over-under figures. I think 11.5 is a strong number for Lawrence. 10.5 last year, 14.5 in 2017. I'll do something I normally don't do. Give me the over. Give me the over on 11.5 sacks for DeMarcus Lawrence. Chase, do you know why we don't alternate our quarterbacks to play wide receiver like the way they utilized Deion Sanders back in the day? Because those dudes ain't Deion. That's why. Most corners play corner because they can't catch. Look, the Cowboys already can't force turnovers. That's why they don't play receiver. So if you had a Deion Sanders type player, sure. But there's no Deion on this Cowboys team right now. Who will have the second most receiving yards for Dallas? We put this up on the poll today on the YouTube channel. Not surprised her. 65% said Gallup, 24% said Cobb, 6% said Zeke, and 4% said Witten. I gave others an option. Only 1% of the vote. Most of them were saying other because they couldn't decide between Gallup or Cobb. Someone said Tony Pollard as well, but I think Gallup is the right question there. From Andre Williams. First off, your caps lock is broken. Go ahead and get that fixed, my man. Does Gregory play this year, and if so, when? I think we'll have clarity on Gregory by week 1. If Gregory is activated, I think he'll play week 1. If not, I don't know if he plays at all next year. So for Gregory, we'll wait and see on that one. All right, from Wraith K, similar question there. Again, I took the over-under on sacks for Randy Gregory. How about 12? Just flat 12 for Tank. By the way, that's a lot of sacks in the NFL. From Diehardcowboiz fan, if the Cowboys are in the 25 to 32 pick range, will they get Isaiah Simmons? Oh, man. I guess the question is, how do you view Simmons? Is he a linebacker for you or a safety? I don't know which one he is, and I am very intrigued by Isaiah Simmons. And some of you have asked, like, oh, who's going to be the next Cam Chancellor for the Cowboys defense? Well, here's one that could actually make sense as an answer: Isaiah Simmons, who listed at like 6'2", 229, or excuse me, 6'4", 225, linebacker, safety, a little bit of both. I think the Cowboys might view him as a linebacker, but I wouldn't mind trying him at strong safety. He's certainly athletic enough. So I can't wait to see how he tests. I think he's going to measure really well at the Combine. I wouldn't mind that pick at all. Marco wants to know if there's any rumors of any new kicker additions. I agree we need competition there. I've not heard any. Same to you here, Bobby. I know you asked that question too in the comments. I've heard nothing yet, but also it's, OTAs. If there's no one in time for training camp, well, then I'll be a little bit surprised. I think at some point they sign somebody, but you got to bring someone to compete with Brett Maher, I think. All right, next up here from Puppet Master. How do you rate, who do you rate better? You forgot the W there. Pollard or Austin? Well, what do you want them to do? Receiving-wise, it's Tavon. Rushing-wise, it's probably Pollard. Return-wise, I'm going to go Tavon, but only because Pollard's still young. In terms of impact this year in the passing game, might lean toward Tavon, but Pollard's making the roster. Tavon's not guaranteed of anything right now. Michael Caldwell, if Crawford is suspended, will Dallas use the opportunity to release him? I don't know. As weird as it sounds, this was very off book for Crawford. He's always been a great leader, always done the right thing. He is a Jason Garrett RKG right kind of guy. So it's not about getting out of Crawford's contract. They can do that if they want. It's more, do they feel comfortable enough losing A, his on-the-field impact, and B, his just leadership within the locker room? I don't know if they feel that way quite yet. Ricky McFarlin, do you think Dak's footwork will be better this year? I mean, I hope so. I also feel like at some level we've used Dak's footwork as like the boogeyman for the Cowboys offense. And like, oh, it's not good. It's not that bad either. So I wouldn't put too much stock in it. I think the biggest thing for Dak is having better play calling. Henry, does Rush or White get the nod for quarterback number 2? Still a toss-up, going to be a camp battle for sure. Rush has the lead for now, but I think that Mike White is going to make a strong run. Check back in with me after week 2 of the preseason when we'll have an actually way better feel, because that's what it's going to come down to there. Chase, should Jeff Heath be in fear about losing his position? I assume he means starting spot. Yes. Iluka's going to push for that role. Frazier will. Maybe you'll end up seeing Donovan Wilson push as well. But yes, Heath is not locked in like he was last year. He's going to have a battle to win that starting spot this season. From Manster, what are the odds Zeke wins rushing title again this year? I think he should be the favorite, right? I mean, the other guys, Saquon Barkley, the Giants are trash. Todd Gurley's banged up. David Johnson is a dark horse, but who knows how he looks. I don't trust Lev Bell in his first year back, so yeah, I think Zeke should be the favorite to win the rushing title this season. NJ Fresh 23. If Garrett is fired, who do you see as the next head coach of the Cowboys? I think you can consider, of course, Chris Richard. You're going to target the big name guys, Lincoln Riley, Sean Payton. Those are some of your top tier targets there. Let's see who emerges as another coordinator candidate. But I think for the Cowboys, if they do fire Garrett, Jerry Jones knows this. He does not have much time, and he knows his team is close. He will go all in and throw money around at big name guys. I don't think they target a lesser tier coach. They'd go big or go home, frankly, at the head coaching spot. Buddy Johnson, if I was the general manager, who would I re-sign? Anthony Brown or Jordan Lewis? Probably Jordan. I like him a lot. He'll be cheaper than Anthony Brown will be. Even though it doesn't fit Chris Richard's scheme, of the two, I'd pick Jordan Lewis. From Rasheen 1010, how is Cedric Wilson doing? He's made a couple of plays so far in OTAs. Again, a tough battle for him to make the roster. And of course, in terms of like ranking the importance, it's OTAs, it's minicamp, it's training camp, preseason type stuff there. So far, so good for Wilson. He is healthy after last year's shoulder injury, but he has a tough battle just to make the roster this year. From John Parker, could the Cowboys draft Colin Johnson? Yes, they could. But I want to see how Colin Johnson runs. Great size, great body control. I like him quite a bit, way more than I like Jordan Humphrey. So there's a chance for Colin Johnson. Good news for those of you that want a receiver, even a Big 12 receiver, because there are a lot of them this year. It's a strong class next year in the draft for wide receivers. Michael Caldwell, bigger chance of getting cut, Chris Jones or Brett Maher? As of right now, I will go towards Chris Jones because Casey Redfern is at least a backup punter on the roster. There is no backup kicker. If the Cowboys bring somebody in to fight with Brett Maher, it'll probably swing more towards Maher as the choice there. J.C. Cruz, which player sneaks onto the roster as a surprise? Tell you what, I'm not going to answer this because we're going to have this as a future segment next week. So stay tuned. We'll break down offense and defense. I'll mention some surprise roster options, guys that aren't locks, and maybe it's a bit of a dark horse, but we'll break that down for you, JC. So make sure you're subscribed here to us on YouTube. All right, from Sergio, what near future trade could the Cowboys make? Trading away defensive end? They got a lot of depth there with Kerry Hyder and Jelks and Armstrong and Taco and maybe Randy Gregory to go along with Crawford and Quinn and Lawrence there. I don't know if you'll see Dallas trade 4 players. Maybe it's a player swap. But I think trading away a defensive end, if everyone's healthy, could make the most sense. Jake Bell. Does Cedric Wilson make the roster? If so, which receiver gets cut? There is a chance. If Wilson makes the roster, that means one of the following did not, I think. Tavon Austin, Allen Hurns, and Noah Brown. Those guys with Cedric Wilson and John V. Johnson, if you want to include him, and even Devin Smith, all fighting for maybe 3 or 4 spots at most. From Henry, if when Garrett leaves, would you prefer a college coach or NFL coach to take the reins? It depends on who the coach is. Obviously, I don't necessarily want just a college or just an NFL coach. I think it makes more sense to try and find the best option. If it's Lincoln Riley versus Mike Tomlin, I might go with Lincoln Riley. But if it's Sean Payton versus Mike Gundy, I'm going to go with Sean Payton. All right, Bobby. Who will be rotating with Sean Lee at the strong side linebacker spot? Justin Martzlord was the first backup there in OTAs, but I don't think there are going to be very many rotations. I think it'll be more of just Sean Lee is your strong side linebacker. When the Cowboys go 3 linebackers, 90% of the time it should be Lee, Vander Esch, and Smith. Jamie wants to know what days are the live chats? Every Thursday, 3 p.m. Central Time, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, right here, youtube.com/Dallas Cowboys Report. Make sure you are subscribed here, Jamie. You'll be notified each time we go live. And, of course, if you missed it, we'll put it up together and put it in a individual video cut for you guys as well. But make sure you're subscribed, again, every Thursday, 4 p.m. Eastern, here on the Cowboys channel, youtube.com/Dallas Cowboys Report. For Michael Caldwell, again, if Zeke is suspended, how could this impact his long-term deal? The Cowboys say it doesn't. If he is suspended, I think it brings down the price tag. And maybe it lessens the guaranteed money. I don't know. Nuclear Elite. If Zeke gets suspended, could Tony Pollard be a hit? If Zeke gets suspended, I think you'll see the Cowboys look into more running backs. But I think Pollard is the backup right now. And will be the backup because, of course, it's Darius Jackson and Mike Weber also on the roster. But I think Pollard is the guy to watch for. So you dynasty players out there in fantasy, I think Pollard is the one you want. From Caldwell, if Dallas wins it all this year, how would you celebrate? How much alcohol would consume? And what fan base would you rub it in the most? Oh, God, great question. We would be live. I don't know how I would celebrate. Probably popping champagne, running around the office, screaming and all that jazz. Alcohol I would consume probably a lot because I wouldn't be able to sleep. I would be so wired from the win. And in terms of fan base, oh God, I don't know. Eagles have earned it. Probably everybody. I would just celebrate so hard. All right, from Daniel. Do you think Garrett gets fired if we make the NFC Championship game and lose? How do they lose? If it's a blowout, maybe. If it's a Dez Bryant caught it scenario, maybe he stays then at that point there. I don't know. All right, Chase, How much of an impact as far as chemistry will the return of Frederick and Witten bring to the locker room? Well, in terms of the locker room, Frederick didn't have much because he was around the team last year. For Witten, I think it helps. But for on the field, Frederick boosts is key for the offensive line. We didn't have a ton of that last year. And I like the job that Joe Looney did. But he was not Travis Frederick. So to get him on the roster and get him back on the field is a big boost there for the Dallas Cowboys. So I think that's key there for Dallas in terms of their impact long term. Think of that question, Chase. All right, folks, let us know in the comment section who was your favorite Cowboys player. Let me know in the comment section who your favorite player was. If it's Jaylon Smith, that's my choice. Let me know. There are a bunch of other options out there for sure. Let me know in the comment section there, guys, who your favorite Cowboys player was. Hey, Cowboys fans, thanks for watching the Cowboys Report. If you haven't already, click right here to subscribe to our channel for all the best Cowboys coverage on the internet. That's news, rumors, highlights, mailbags, film studies, and a whole lot more. And I'm making your lives a little bit easier as well with the next Cowboys Report video right here.